Hi, my name's Lisa Billings. I'm with Warren Averett. We're a CPA firm based in the Southeast. And today I'm here with Jennifer Pemble, one of my healthcare partners, to discuss something that is going to affect all of our taxpayers. And that's really some changes that the IRS is trying to make and some changes that the Postal Service is making. So first, one of the things I've heard, and it's been very confusing, but I keep on hearing that the IRS wants all payments to be electronic. So can you tell us a little bit about that? What's been going on?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So it actually came out of a mandate that President Trump signed back in March of 2025. And he said effective September 30th, 2025, which was kind of the targeted date, we want all payments to be electronic. That's payments from the government, payments to the government. So they're looking for IRS refund payments to be made electronic to taxpayers. They're also looking for taxpayers to make their payments electronic too. So obviously September 30th has come and gone. They are not standing firm in that date. It sounds like they really won't be making that change until probably 2027 is when it'll be enforced. But the IRS is pushing. They've got a whole campaign. They're trying to get people to understand why this is important and change to making their payments electronically.
Absolutely. And I think making payments electronically and receiving your refunds are important, especially, we're in the refund season. People are starting to start to get their refunds. And I think it is very important for people to know, if you don't put your direct deposit information on, I think it's very likely that you're going to have a delayed refund this year. They are really, the IRS is short resources. They don't have the manpower to process as much. So as much as you can do to make it easy for them to give you money, I recommend you do it.
Yeah. And that's always kind of been the case where if you want a paper refund, it's always been a little bit slower. So I think this year we'll definitely see that it is slower as they're trying to make their point.
Right.
But the big thing to me is that it's safer to make your payments electronically and for the IRS to pay you electronically. So you think about if you mail a check or if the IRS mails you a check, what if somebody intercepts that check, which is happening more and more in the world that we live in? So
all the time, yes.
I hear clients say, well, I don't want to put my bank information online. Well, when you mail a check, you're putting your bank information out into the world and somebody could take it.
I completely agree. I've had clients have their checks stolen from the post office before, and it just creates a big mess. So anytime that you can make a payment online, I recommend to do it. Now the IRS has a couple of ways that you can make payments online. I know one is just on their website, just a direct pay.
Yes, just irs.gov, direct pay. You input your personal information. To confirm that it's you, they'll ask you to put your address from your prior year tax return, and they want it spelled out exactly as it is on the tax return. That's a real easy way. You enter your bank information, how much you're paying, what you're paying it for. You're done. They email you a confirmation.
And then the other way, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's the ID.me. And so you can create an ID.me account. It takes a little bit of time. You have to give them a little bit more information. I remember whenever I did mine, I had to have my driver's license and some things. But I will say, once you have that set up, it's pretty nice. It's pretty easy. That way you don't have to have all that information to make a payment. You can just log into your ID.me and tell them how much you want to pay and pay it. And you can see all of your history. It's very easy. If you have an ID.me account, I can go online as your tax preparer and send you a power of attorney. If there's an issue, I can easily get you to approve it. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but it does take more to make it happen.
Yes. But being able to see the history of the payments that you've made, if you have not kept those confirmation emails, is helpful. And as you said, working with your tax preparer, if you need a power of attorney or anything, the account helps a lot.
It is. It's a big help, which I didn't think about whenever I first did it. And now a couple of years later, I'm like, okay, I can see some benefits here. I remember the setup was a little much, but once you did it, it was okay.
Yes.
So, we're talking about making payments electronically, and obviously there's the safety issue. You don't have to worry about your payments getting intercepted.
Right.
But if I know I have some people who still want to write checks, especially if they owe large amounts, but there's been some changes at the Postal Service now. It used to be as long as your return was filed, as long as it was postmarked by that date, if your payment was postmarked by the date, even if the IRS got it a week or two later, it was still proof that it was timely filed.
Yes.
But now that may not be the case.
Yes. So the IRS always looks at the postmark on the envelope to determine, did you make a payment timely? Did you file something timely? Well, in December, the USPS said they're changing their postmark rules. So it is no longer the date that you dropped it off that will be the postmark date. It's the first date that it goes through one of their automatic scanning, sorting machines. So it could be 2-3 days later. So people who are used to going on the due date and dropping off payments or tax returns, it will no longer be postmarked that date unless you go into the post office and ask them to hand postmark it or you send it certified.
That's right. So, and really that's what we're recommending. If you absolutely want to mail something, if you want to mail your check or you need to mail a return or a special form, you need to go in and have it certified. That really is, and make sure you have the little green and white slip and watch as they stamp it, because that's going to be your proof.
Yeah.
So that's a big change because, like you said, a lot of people, I know there have been many times that I've been at the post office on the due dates and it's a line and everybody's doing their thing last minute. Well, now it may, even if you get it there by April 15th, it may not be postmarked that day. They're saying a couple of days up to even a week until they get something postmarked. So I think that's a big change that kind of helps. I know for me, it makes me more willing to pay online even more because I know, okay, now I know for certain that it was done on time.
Yes.
And I don't have to worry about it getting lost and not put through a system for a week.
Yeah.
So, Jennifer, here we are. It's January, and everybody's saying, I don't have to file anything until April. What could they be doing now? Is there something that they need to be doing now?
Yeah, I think that they should check out the ID.me account. And if that is something that they want to do, which we recommend because of all the benefits that come with it, they should start getting that account in order now. Because as you said, it does take a little bit of time to get it set up. You have to show them, a picture of your driver's license to make sure that you are who you say that you are, who you're setting the account up for. So if they're interested in making electronic payments going forward, they want the account, I would say go ahead and get that account set up today. Start it today because it'll take a few weeks to get it all set up. Come April, they'll be ready to go.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and just talking about these things because they affect everybody.
They sure do.
And it's going to really, as we're about to hit filing season, it really is something that people need to be aware of.
Yes, definitely.